morning. Welcome to the Java Cafe, Java fam.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Today is Wednesday, May 28th. I think I got it right. 2025. You were in the Java Cafe we haven't done this or talked about this in a while, but we need to know Wednesday. I'll give some context to that in a few moments, but it's been a few days. We haven't been on in almost a week. We weren't on Monday, and some of you saw the press conference yesterday, which we'll talk about later, the mayor's announcement, an investment, and also the appointment and hiring of Dr. Isaac Yablo to be the director of the Office of Violence Prevention. So we're going to talk about that shortly, but let's go into the Java Cafe. I haven't said hello to folks in a couple of days. Nisi is the first person in the building this morning. Good to see you, Nisi. Mama Java, good morning to you. It was great 2 days in a row. I got to spend some time with Mama Java this weekend. Pastor Marion, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Also, Nicole, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. And also, I see Terrence. What's up, brother? Good to see you in the room over there on LinkedIn. Get linked up. Salem State University Institute of Politics, the Berry Institute of Politics. Good to see you in the room, brother. Milagro, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room this morning. Also over on Instagram, Tony J. Dickerson just joined, as well as I saw F. Baptista and J.C. Lowe, Jamone 44, Tawana P. I think that's Tawana Plant, formerly of Mayor Menino's office, that was over there. And Jessica, I believe, is over, or Jessica, may not be Jessica, on Instagram as well. And so So the music stopped at a perfect time. Dr. Rick Lee, for those of you that came to the health fair, is in the building. Dr. Rick Lee, it's been a few days, but I found out as recently as yesterday, we had 150 people check into the health fair. Excuse me for 1 second. I don't use these that often, but. Yo, 150 people. Erin had a clicker. Well, look at me, a clicker. She had the clicker when people go through the door and all of that. And so she told me yesterday, we had a lot of on-site registrations, and I guess a good portion of the folks that registered showed up. And so, Dr. Lee, I want to publicly thank you for your support of the Your Healthy Java Dr. Joseph R. Betancourt Health Fair next year. Brother Pedro was in the room. Stay here for a couple of seconds. Dina, I see your question about the announcement that we did with the mayor yesterday. Charlene, good morning to you over on Instagram as well. So 150 folks came into the health fair. Once we get all the information, we'll do a recap. We got a video dropping. And just to let you know, we decided here, I text Dr. Lee about it. You all talked about it here. Next year's prizes, grand prizes, they're going to be 5 of them, 5 $1,000 prizes to come to the health fair. So right now, hold the dates of May 16th and May 30th. For the 5th, we're going to celebrate next year. Hair Addiction, good morning to you from Detroit over on Instagram. Okay, Detroit. Hair Addiction, not Hair Addiction. What was I getting ready to say? The 5 slots for $1,000 are going to take place on May 16th or May 30th, I believe, of next year. So hold those dates for now. Let's go back over the Facebook. Dina, good morning to you. Good to see you in the room. I'm thankful no one got shot over here last night, but got property damage. So Dina, in full transparency, and I had a conversation with someone this morning about the incident over there in Orchard Gardens, and it just points to so let's go into the announcement. I will begin with a couple of videos. For those of you that don't know, every year, Mayor Menino, Mayor Walsh, I think when Mayor Janey was in, I think the time period that she was in, I believe she may have did one. I don't remember. Mayor Wu has done them in the past couple of years. There is typically a summer safety press conference that talks about the city of Boston's summer strategy and what they're doing. for me, yesterday was interesting. And again, in full transparency, I've shared with a few people, including the administration, that I don't think people realize the gravity of what was announced yesterday. And so let's just share a couple of comments I made at the presser. For those of you that don't know, there is our 20 some odd years in advocating in this space. And I think, this is the one I believe I wanted. Hold on for one second. Yes, this is the one I wanted. So let's get that full screen. I think I have it. Audio is on. For those of you that may just be familiar with the Java with Jimmy space, the reason that I just saw my mother say good morning to brother Conan Harris. His work, a lot of others' work, are huge contributors to what was announced yesterday. And so for those of you that don't know, some years ago, a young man that I call my nephew, Lacey, shout out to Alexis Smith, who has taken her pain along with others and is doing great work with the Peace Institute. I got to hug her on Mother's Day. My decades of trauma came out during that time. And I, talked about violence, addressed it. Brother Conan is here. We've talked about it. Everybody that's been in that community public safety position in the mayor's office, I at one point or another have come at them. And so there is historical. Tiffany Chu, the chief of staff yesterday, yesterday, I'm saying, that's when we hit a passion place. I started to ask a few people yesterday to attest to the fact that they still get texts. They still get emails about stuff. And so Chief Chu said yesterday, we appreciate your historical context. And so 20 years of advocacy that we as a community had to bear in losing loved ones, in some extent of good intended trial and error with strategies and offices and advisors and funding shifts and things like that. So I won't bore you with pre-commentary. I'm just going to share with you some of the comments from yesterday's press conference with Mayor Wu, where she announced that Dr. Isaac Yablo, Tara registers in the building. I'm sure this is very significant for her, who moves and works in this space. And Brother Ed, good to see you in the room with your Java this morning. Rena Francis, good to see you. Rena, Rena, do you consider yourself a mother? And the only reason why I asked that, because I tagged some mothers the other day, and Rena, there's some of y'all I don't put in the mother space yet because y'all are, Anyway, Rena, good to see you in the room this morning. Aha, self-care moment. I think I got it right. Speaking of self-care, let's go back. Let me just show you the video from yesterday at the press conference. Shout out to brother Stanley Stacko from Stacko over on Twitter. Huge influence in the space of keeping us informed in what goes on in the community. The mayor said herself a couple of years ago almost that, sometime, and it was funny because Commissioner Davis was there yesterday, and I told him, Stacko, if you watch this, I said to the commissioner yesterday, so Stacko was taking footage. You're going to see that in a second. And the mayor said, everybody, that moves in the space of public safety. Mother. See, I went right to it. Rena said that, yes, she is a mother. Okay. Then, because I don't want to get in trouble. There's some people I've called mothers before, and they've hit me up and been like, not yet, son. Not yet. So Rena, always, you a charter member. So, all right. Clarity that I know a mother biologically. I'm talking about a mother, church mother, Rena. All right. Some joy in this very serious moment. So, the announcement was made yesterday, and Stacko, who we're about to see in a second, was standing out there. And I told the commissioner yesterday, we were telling Stacko to come up the mayor said, everybody, come up and get in the photo. Because for me, yesterday was a little historic, and I'll give some context later. And so Stacko was coming up, and I turned to the commissioner. I said, hey, have you two ever met? And the commissioner was like, no. I said, well, Commissioner, sometimes before you get information to the mayor, she goes to Stacko's page to find out what happened. So shout out to Stanley Stacko that did this video. And we are going to watch it now from the comments. The audio, because we were outside, and then one of the reporters jumped in front of Brother Stacko. Now, if you look, anyway, I'll tell you all about that later. I'm going to shut up. Here's the video, everybody.
There's some, and it's been hinted on a little bit, and I have notes so I don't veer off for those that know me, but 4 mayors, 4 commissioners, I believe it's about 6 or 7 or 8 senior advisors and Department of Community Safety. What's happening today is a culmination. It's been hinted on a couple of times, but it's been the advocacy of the community. It's been the pain and the suffering of the community coming out to these meetings, coming out to We Need to Know. It's been the hundreds of lives that have been lost. And I remember Reverend Brown talks about just up the street in 2005, some of you may remember Peace Boston. I was on a bullhorn, and we were walking once again, trying to demand and get toward peace. And so while it's interesting that it's been 20 years, we have to hold the fact that we didn't get here overnight. It didn't take overnight to get to where we are today. But I need us to understand the significance of what is happening today. There is a total, if I understand right, of $6 million. Your 5 investment.
And so we are back. That was some of the comments. I have another clip that, thanks to Brother Obi, I'll share in a few moments. And so, Jimmy, what was significant about yesterday? What are you talking about over the past 20 years? From being, and shout out to Representative Russell Holmes that remembered this, and Representative Russell Holmes and I met, oh God, when did 93? Sam Yoon and Ray Flynn ran for office in 93. I think, no, not 93. Menino's last run, 9. I think Russell Holmes and I met in 2009, and we were at a community meeting about street memorials. And for Mayor Menino, I was the person that on behalf of his office handled and communicated with families for street memorials. Side note, some context to why I'm passionate about this space. And so Representative Holmes yesterday referred back to the fact that when we met, and he credited it, I, along with Courtney Gray and a lot of other people, came up with the policy. Mayor Menino didn't want to implement it as an ordinance because if ever there was a need to deviate from an understanding and a practice, if it was in written policy, somebody could use it to not allow the sensitivity, if needed, on a street memorial. Long story short, the way that street memorials are handled now, first, public safety is always the priority. Second, and I don't know if I got to find out if they still do it exactly like this. But at one point, we were meeting with Reverend Jeffrey Brown, the 10-Point Coalition, Lori Nelson, Emmanuel Tickley, Rufus Falk, before he was the city's public, years here, y'all, years. So anyway, one of the things that was an issue that I recognized being in the mayor's office and when I left is that, and former city councilor and chair of the Black Men and Boys Commission referred to this yesterday. Unfortunately, there are territorial issues often in municipalities. And also, when Marty Walsh came in 2014, I believe, former assistant district attorney Dan Mulhern was the lead, along with Leon Graves, of the mayor's office of public safety. Then there were a few more folks that went through. Brother Conan, who I referred to. We had Tracy Lithcutt. We had Rufus Falk, and now we have Dr. Diablo since February of this 25 of 23, I believe. And so one of the things that has been an issue is it changed from an office to a senior advisor. Office really never had a whole lot of money. Senior advisors definitely don't have a budget because they're not an office or a department. Access to some funds limited because they're not a line item. Focus and work, yes. Convene, oversee, senior advisor to the mayor, one-on-one communication with the mayor about incidents, advocacy, things needed, sensitivity to families and things like that. Fine. But over the past 20 years, one mantra of the We Need to Know space is the lack of intra-departmental communication and collaboration. And, again, it was stated not by me yesterday, by someone else, that the groups need to, the municipalities, the groups need to model the behavior of not being territorial, gang-like, and things like that. And so the significance of yesterday is this. One, a black man, Dr. Yablo, Isaac Yablo, was appointed. Let me verify for everyone. And I was part of the hiring process, so I can verify. Went through a hiring process, though he's been doing the work. And Dr. Basola credited this yesterday at the press conference. And if you followed me for the past 8 years or so, you know that Mark Scott and I have not always seen eye to eye, and I have been at him. But Dr. Basola, and we got to credit him and his team and others, that was the interim director. So Dr. Isaac Yablo, yesterday, it was announced that he is the director of the office, which is now a bureau, if you understand the commission and how they set up and function, the director of the Office of Public Safety. What does that bring with that? I won't go into all the details right now. At baseline, access, monitoring, oversight in one space through the city of Boston's framework strategy that we got to give credit to Dr. Falk and others and predecessors, former street workers, entities and programs that are doing the work and not just getting a check, that are impactful. Our contributors to holding us down, and progress that has been made in the past 20 years, because it is interesting. Let's keep it 100. 20 years for something to happen is a long time. And as I said yesterday, we didn't get to where we are with violence overnight. And it certainly wasn't overnight, me referring to 20 years, that it got back to this point. So Dr. Yablo is now the director. He will be with us Friday morning. Special Java with Jimmy Friday morning at 9 a.m. Dr. Yablo is going to join us. There's now one person that is moving to the Health Commission. You all remember some years ago, Mayor Thomas Menino, through the work of Dr. Deborah Pretho Stith, I'm going back, y'all, back, made public safety, homicides, and trauma work a public health space. And that work was moved from with BCYF and street workers and whatnot. A good part of it was moved over to the Health Commission. National model. Dr. Yablo now has access, oversight, monitoring, grants, staff, in the equivalent of, just with the city, we'll baseline it at 5 million. Recently, as this morning, I understand this a little bit over 5 million, which includes staff, but you need people, resources. Additionally, yesterday, it was announced through Joyce from the Cummings Foundation that they're going to commit $1 million to this. And my understanding is, and I don't know if I got the, I did ask, I asked somebody, I said, is this unrestricted fund so they can do what they need to do? This whole conversation that's still going on about part of our population that for a period of time might just need to leave the city and they need support. And so how do you do that in a very tactful, intentional manner? So now there's $6 million under one person that now oversees all violence, not just youth gang-related violence, domestic violence, the words gender-based violence were said yesterday. All types of violence. I see no stones thrown in the building. There's a level of violence that I talked to somebody yesterday. There's the mental health piece. There are seniors and those with physical and mental disabilities where some acts against them, financial, physical, sexual, is violence. So one of the things we want to be clear about for those that don't understand this role, it is oversight of all. I talked to Dr. Yablo yesterday, and as much as I worked in medicine and government, he started spitting off a whole bunch of acronyms for department. So it's a bureau with divisions and departments, and no stones is in the room. They know how that thing is set up. And to their point, that is the thing. To your first comment, I didn't go to the long one yet. You all know me. Pastor Marshall, good morning. Good to see you in the room. This is Miss Teresa is in the building. Just as a side note, Miss Teresa, just keep her in your prayers. Just keep her in your prayers. She's okay, but just health and stuff. So to Dina's point about the impact on community. Now, 3 of these past 20 years of advocacy, guess what? And I got to give a shout out to them. Your boy is in a formal legislated through ordinance commissioner in the city of Boston on the Black Men and Boys Commission, who since January is now the leader of the subcommittee where the work is done of health, wellness, and fatherhood. In that role, along with others on the commission, Commissioner Mackey is over the public safety committee. I don't know if he was on it because there were new elections after the first 2 years, but I'll spare you all that. Let's keep it 100. I got 3 roles. First and foremost, I'm a resident. I'm a Black man. Second, we got this space, a host. The third, I'm a commissioner. So sometimes people, yesterday, even a couple people were like, well, what role are you here in? I'm here as a survivor. I'm here as a resident. First and foremost, I was not there. Yeah, I wore the hat. I was there as James William Isaac Hills. So of the past 20 years, 3 of them have been done in the space with the Black Men and Boys Commission. Shout out to the chair. I have to give homage to Director Frank Farrell. There are very few people in City Hall that are actively moving in this space that understand the history, the fussing, and the cussing. And Frank was out there. Frank is on emails from 2016 when we were advocating for what I'm about to tell y'all and in the process of telling y'all that's happening now. So to no stones thrown counseling. In that role as a commissioner, there was a meeting recently with the mayor where this topic came up and a few other ones. And what was said in that meeting was that, hey, Mayor, there's some budgetary things. We get it. Y'all know we got the $300 million that is going to be that is a potential shortfall in the city budget. We got to have a conversation about what I see if this is implemented right and no stones. I'm going back to your point. If this is implemented right with community, I said in the comments, and I'll show the video in a minute, those closest to the pain need to be embedded to the power. In that commission meeting, and again, shout out to the commission. I don't have the exact number in front of me, but through our committees, through housing, through employment, through health and wellness, all we got at either level or increased funding in spaces of housing. We know that so much to unpack here. I'm trying to stay focused. My point to no stones thrown. In this role as a commissioner, And the mayor said in our last meeting that at budget and went through infrastructure and the stroke of a pen, changing somebody's job description, organizational chart changes. We're going to be embedded. Her words were I won't say verbatim. The word embedded was verbatim. She either said they need to be embedded or you all should be embedded in a lot of what you're proposing and how it's implemented. So from top to bottom, it's been communicated that our voices, no stones thrown counseling, that impact needs to be guided by us, survivors, workers, not just survivors of those that have succumbed to violence, but survivors of those who have been shot or hurt to be a part of this. The other part of significance is, again, so 6 million baseline. And having Dr. Yablo and understand working in this space and No Stones can attest to this. And there's another how much actually play out, and it's Dina, No Stone, Dina. I'm going to get to that in a second. Dina, at that level, that role does take on administrative accountability. Things like auditing impact of programs that are getting funding from the Health Commission. There's also, let me back up a little bit. There's a transition that must happen. And in the press announcement that came out yesterday, the folks that are in the office right now in City Hall are going to be absorbed over into the commission. The other thing significant is this role, though at the commission, will still dually serve as a senior advisor. That direct contact, where appropriate, of course, communicate with Dr. Pasola and whatnot, who is the executive director at the Health Commission. But there will be that direct contact understood by protocols and on some org chart that may come up or flow chart that may come up that, hey, Mayor, Dr. Yablo will still do that. Let me just go over our Instagram real quick. Oh God, I haven't been in this space of we need to know in a while. So for those of you that are new to the Java Cafe, and I haven't been a lot in this space, there's a certain energy that comes with it. So let's go to Instagram just to check in over there. All right. Shout out to everybody over there. Folks came in and popped off. Let's go over to, I'm tired. Let's go over to Facebook. Ari, good morning. Good to see you in the room. No Stones. Sounds like a great vision, but they never measure impact or get feedback from participants. Let me, one, I said this in my comments, and I would read y'all my statement, but I'm going to show the video of the parts of it and not bore you with that. But one thing Dr. Yablo does is moving data. And him and the mayor together on data is I'm sorry, let me fix my face. It is interesting because they're brainiacs and sometimes the data, and Dina, I have in the past come at Dr. Yablo because, data on 2 points, data of the trends and things in violence nationally, 10-year comparison, 5-year comparison, part 1 crime numbers and all that other stuff. But the data of the experience and the impact is very different. You're not saying that he negates that. So to your point, data, huge point. And that community impact has to be there. And they, did the meetings and whatnot. And Dina, I got to say, and I was going to bring it up, but I don't remember where the file is. If you all remember in 2018, Consuela Green, in that meeting, Diane Sullivan of Determined Divas, who is a typist, took notes verbatim. Consuela had post-it papers, little post-it, medium post-its, and we had notes and markers and everything everywhere. If I go back to that meeting from 2018, 10% of my observation of the community needs, complaints, and suggestions is in that document. From what I'm aware of, let's keep it 100. Transition, infrastructure, all that implementation, getting the team together, getting caught up to speed, all that. We got to be real about that. If you understand processes like that, that's real. It's a new thing. So we got to give some grace for that. But I'll play the video in a second. Talked to Dr. Yablo yesterday. Talked to the chief of staff yesterday. And said that the accountability and the follow through of how this is implemented, the community voices and those, and I said it at the press conference, and I'll cue up the video. Those closest to the pain, those community gatherings, focus groups, and meetings, they don't need to stop, even around infrastructure. Yes, let's also name there's some internal things that the public cannot be privy to, and legal and all that other stuff. Yes. But in things that are directly impacting how we as residents engage with the municipality directly and with those that are funded largely from the municipality to provide services and be impactful in resources. We can have some, and Donna, I don't know why I thought of you when I was thinking of this. We need to know sort of space. But good to see you in the room. Dina said, sorry, I'm going to fall back and apologize. It sounds like job protection in case someone don't win. Oh, Dina. No. Anyway, I'm not going to get political because it is so interesting, not directed at you, Dina, but yesterday, because I know there's going to be, this is someone that works in this space and is, I won't get in trouble, Dina, that knows the space well. One at the base and very real, away from politics and opinion and whatnot. Is there always a canyon for improvement until we get to zero? Deaths by guns and homicides with the tone of gang in youth, and it's not just youth. Retaliatory violence, yeah. There is also critique, and things like that. And so I was just thinking, this has to be about people and people power. And this always has to be the foundation. Y'all know this space for me is very, and anybody that needs to know knows it's very different when it comes to the advocacy. Oh, not Dina, the other there's another Dina, Dina that actually spells their name different. So thank you for sort of that light moment. But Dina, the other Dina, ain't no need to stop. We only have one-sided conversations. I don't know about the we, but what do you call it? We need to know. Well, I'm not here now. Some political space. Yep. I'm definitely leaning. My point is yesterday was significant. I seen Centauria and also Michelle D. Smith. Good morning. Community voice is always imperative to ensure that needs are being met. Also Centauria said, just heard another meeting. ICE is now mad at ICE is actively and it's funny because this morning the conversation came up about this being an act of violence, the impact, similar to what Courtney Gray used to say, that when people go to jail, it's similar to someone dying because they are abruptly taken away. Whole nother topic. about something else I'm aware of. So just as a warning, everybody, in Mattapan, it's understood, and I trust Centoria. I don't want a false alarm, and Centoria, you get the context of this. I don't want a false alarm, but we need to be aware. It's so interesting. Let me just make sure I cover all the significance of yesterday. So the budget, the intra oversight, resources, accountability, review of who's getting money to do stuff. I think Dina's last comment was about prevention. That in full transparency, that was a huge part of the presentation, and what is one space that I'm away from commissioner and just always been in. You, when you all hear this acronym, for those of you that follow me, you'll recognize it. That SSYI space, in the intervention, and I forgot what Dr. Yarblough is calling it now, but intervention, and then like what I heard someone say some years ago, postvention, like when I had mentioned it, sometimes some of our young people, for their own safety, and older, folks might need to get out the city for a time so they're not a target, or they're not, making someone else a target. And so it prevention is there, Dina. I don't know how soon they're going to put it on the website or whatever, but check out the plan. And when these public convenings are had, when they have these public convenings, as someone that worked in it and knows it. So, all right. Angela Elizabeth, good morning. Good to see you. And I sent my email. I'm just making sure I'm not in trouble. Good morning to you. Centoria said the woman who was speaking, they took her tenants. So I guess it's on the news. This is, hold on. Centoria, if there's a link or it, the other part of the significance of this now happening is that, and I was intentional about my comments yesterday. While we are aiming to be one of the safest cities in America, as recently as last night in Orchard Gardens, there was a shooting. If you pay attention to what's going on, there have been an increase in shootings and homicides. I have to give and hold the Bromley and others and mention them. There was a young man, and I don't have his name. I'm going to try to find it real quick so we can honor him properly. But just within the last week, there have been at least two. We know that, Memorial Day is typically the start to the summer. And in times past, numbers show trending that there are incidents Memorial Day weekend, July 4th, Carnival, Labor Day weekend, when school gets back together, or school goes back, and all the stuff that we know. I am just trying to find the information so I can say this young man's name correctly and where I'm looking 4 days ago. And Dina DI, if you know, please put his name in here. I can't find it, but things are still going on. And as I said, it's not just room for improvement, there's a canyon for improvement. Even with all that I'm historically, institutionally excited about. My point is, with risk of the Section 8, SNAP, food stamp benefits, things like that, with a huge part of my being believing that there is some intentionality to cause mass chaos for a declaration of martial law out of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Part of the conversation I had this morning was that with community voices, and this being implemented properly, in times past, data shows when the economy is interesting, when it's done in an intentional manner with all these tariffs and shaking things, when you're removing resources, when up to possibly 11,000 children and 8,800 families might be without their Section 8 vouchers, when SNAP benefits are at risk, people become some in a survival mode. What sometimes survival can lead to more incidents of violence. And y'all know I try to be balanced and not a lot of doom and gloom in this space, but reality. And so if this is done right with community voices, what I'm saying is the impact of a lot of the shortfalls around budget, SNAP, Section 8, Medicaid, all that's going on, we're going to probably see people trying to survive. I'll frame it like that. And part of that will be violence, and not just gun, youth, gang retaliatory, domestic, intimate partner, gender-based, abuse of children, abuse of elders, abuse of those that have special needs, persons with special needs. And so it is imperative that all those communities and all those voices are represented in any convening of what we're doing now, with this transition, with the point of, the Office of Violence Prevention. And so gatekeepers have to share the funds so we don't have to go get the and the other Dina DI. I think you will agree with this. There needs to be a lot more collaboration. There's a lot of and this has always been an issue in nonprofit. You and I, 3 blocks apart, we do the same thing. And I get missions, and I get founding, and I get boards, and I get staff and layoffs and things like that when you merge. But there's the municipal accountability, Dina, of auditing who's impactful. Ask the community there too. But there's also this nonprofit arena that at some point we're going to need to have a conversation about. So, valid point. This is unrest of simple socioeconomic security. And Angie, while there's simplicity in how you framed it, the convoluted, the multifaceted, convoluted intersection of the intentionality of some of these policies and things going on. I said intentionality. Oh, so I see Uncle Thaddeus in the room. He said, man, stop. I have time to help. Which part, Uncle Thaddeus? And y'all know of me. Y'all know in this space, and I had to hospitably frame some things in the past few days. I'll put it like that. So I don't know to which part. Uncle, tell me or text me about the man. Stop. Bring back grants. Wait a minute. Hold on. Bring back grant. Dina, tell me what you mean. Michelle, in these turbulent times, we need to lean on God for his divine provision, care, support, and other. That faith, I wish I had it in front of me, but someone sent me a new brand called Walk by Faith, which their aesthetic is crazy, and it's red. Faith is a part of it. And as our Congresswoman often says, when we pray, we move our feet. And that comes in the form of voting. That comes in the form of participating when these, no, Dina, you good. Which tell me, copy and fix it and repaste, thing. I lost my train of thought. Miss Teresa said, people will be in survival mode. And that is So where is Uncle? Unless he's typing. I'm trying to get clarity. It's 10:48. And when I tell y'all today, I'm literally, I think when I get off of here, I am not done. The good thing about not being done, I'm going to play the last clip, and then I'll come back and tell you why one of the good things happening today in being in meetings from 11 to 2. Look at that color from the red to yellow to red to red. I'm going to play the clip and then come back and share some other things with you. Good morning. Mama Java made her way over to Instagram, and Sierra Smith as well. There's one more, going back to see if Uncle Thaddeus commented or text. Hold on. Okay. The people are too afraid to speak up and out. We acting like we on a plantation. In what respect? Go. Give me a little bit more while I play this clip. Bring back open opportunities for grants so all genres are not closed to their friends and family. Okay. Open up. I mean, they bring back open opportunities for grants so all genres are not closed to their family and friends. I think I got what you're saying, Dina. And they community participation, review committees. Who from the community are on these grant grant review processes? Those that are closest to the pain. Jesus Lord, I'm going to get in trouble. The sad reality is that our zip code should not serve as a contradiction of Angie, somebody that moves in the public health, community health space. The sad reality is our zip code should not serve as a contradiction of if we survive and how we survive, but it's relevant. All you have to do is look at the news. All we got to do is think back to 2020, 2021, the Reggie Lewis. That center was set up for this zip code, and we had people flooding it. I'm going to behave. Oh, I'm waiting for Miss Teresa. Feeling a bit better today. Thank you, everyone, for your prayers. Absolutely. Please keep praying for me, y'all. Absolutely. Small business. Kadena, got it. Small business grants. And there's there's just some stuff. I don't know all the details about how, but I thought you meant more on the nonprofit side, Dina. But yeah, everybody needs the opportunities. There's some of the same folks keep getting all the bread. That is also not just in the business space. That's also with nonprofits and stuff that have good grant writers, but they ain't doing. Donna, some sour ones are on the. Okay. Dina and Donna. Dina, DI. Dina, how can we think we have a chance if the cards are stacked against us? Dina, woman, all right, y'all gonna have me. Cards are stacked against us. Hi, I'm us. Dina will sidebar. Jonathan Jackson looks new to the Java Cafe. Don't you understand? Bruh. Just said it. I don't know when you popped on. Huge intentionality. Okay. Thaddeus said, you're talking about the pain, not about the power. Skipping lots of opportunities being missing as we sit. I mean, so to Thaddeus's point, from people saying at some most extreme points that, I heard somebody say, I'm glad this is happening. And he, a guy in the White House, because this is shaking up the Black community, giving us the opportunity to, reset and know, those among us. There's that. To Uncle Thaddeus's point, there is, I think, on some finances, there's unifying. And so, asset-based is real. But again, the vein in which I'm speaking today about this significance of this announcement is with where there is going to be pain, we do got to be prepared. But there are some opportunities, slow on it, but I want to bring crypto folks from the Black community that move in crypto. I understand that is, some of the opportunities. the tax cut things for some in some brackets, some opportunities. So I hear you, Uncle Thaddeus, as always. Donna in the building. The people in the zip code of Reggie cannot utilize the. Okay. That Don, shoot me an email and I got somebody over there I can forward it to if there's an issue. All of us are keeping it real. I'm trying to keep it as balanced as possible, but we all are by our experience, and a lot of people got a whole lot of different experiences. Sometimes it's good, and then sometimes it gets you in. It could get you how. Never mind. Leave it alone. Bring back Black Rock. Absolutely. Dr. Lee, my dedication is to stand with you. Great. Dr. Lee is in here for the whole time. Dr. Lee, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. This man, I'll just tell y'all, has helped garner those gift certificates and $1,000 and giveaways. And we need to know. Everybody got to eat. DJ, the fans, the goodies, even though I still got to pay Miss Teresa. Hi, Miss Teresa. Dr. Lee, thank you. Thank you. And I was glad you were able to listen in today. Jonathan, again, we realize we have so much more to go. It's almost at what's the announcement? I must have missed it. The announcement, Thaddeus, Uncle, is that Dr. Yablo became the director of public safety, has access now, oversight, monitoring. I'm adding the words auditing, holding accountable grantees, where everything in a full 50,000 violence prevention framework model of domestic violence, youth gun, retaliatory violence, intimate partner, gender-based, on the elderly, on persons with disabilities, physical and learning, all under one umbrella there over at the Health Commission with Dr. Pasola. That was the announcement. I'm tired, y'all. Angie, I need a seat at the table. We all need to talk the same, push in the same direction, pull down the same strongholds, and walk away from the same things not serving is with respect. Angie. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying not to be on here another 15 minutes. The actual first meeting isn't until 11:30. But I need to break a little bit. Good thing I prepared for the other one last night because I was like, there's not going to be enough. I had a feeling there was not going to be enough time. All right. Christine Archer, friend from Grace from back in the day, jumped in over on Instagram. Miss Teresa, we all have to come together. To Angie's point, we all have to come together and utilize the power we have. Together we can overcome this, albeit not without some pain, but cannot fight this individually. You can break one match, but not a full stack together. I mean, this kind of goes Uncle Thaddeus's point, not just in my mind went like the opportunities, crypto and all that, but, and I did touch it on it a little bit. We do have power. We have to be intentional about harnessing it from a biblical perspective. One can chase 1,000, two can put 10,000 to flight. I'm a little rusty. And so to that opportunity piece Uncle Thaddeus talked about, reiterated again by Miss Teresa and others, we have to be intentional about that. Dr. Lee, Dr. Lee can't say good morning to you on Facebook because he's on Twitter. Because I heard that Mama Java be letting folks know when she says good morning and they don't say hi back. I saw Milton in the room for some reason. I just thought about that. I was with that brother this weekend. Talk about using power and coming together. Him, his little brother Nugget, they did a great event called the Beantown Slam, offered a lot of young people great opportunities in the skill set of basketball. So just seeing that made me think about it. Gatekeepers need to share. They need to share too, Dina, and you're a go-getter. We did and my sister knows. Dr. Lee said, Dr. Lee said hi. So there you go. Milton, still here in the room. Thank you for the opportunity. I told Brother Milton it's going to take me a while to edit some of this stuff because that's not my area. I can do it. It just takes longer. Auntie Java is in the room. A 3-strand cord is not easily broken. Absolutely. Milton said, Dr. Lee, you need to meet Milton. Good brother. Good brother. And we can get him connected with the place over there that does the gun prevention work on all levels. I forgot Dr. Lee. Oh, I also want to name, just seeing Dr. Lee in the room that's at MGH. And I meant to post yesterday, but I understood the circumstances that they were cool. But I thought about folks at MGH yesterday, just naming the shooting that happened there where a person took a BPD's gun, ended up shooting himself in the foot, but it could have been a lot worse. You know, so I said to somebody that even, you know, a lot of our healthcare industries when anyway. So, all right. I think I caught up with all the comments. It is Tashad is in the building. Tashad made the ballot for District 7. Let me just say that Tashad ain't new here. She ain't just jumping on here as a candidate, official candidate. She been in here a long time. And I'm looking forward to seeing Tashad this weekend. The Boston Wild Black Summit is taking place on Friday and Saturday. Yours truly has the opportunity to host and be with them. Be with my BWB family that I always refer to in our app chat. We're with them on actually starting tomorrow night, all day Friday, all day Saturday. Great workshops, great speakers, presenters. Sister Sheena is doing a solo session. I'm trying to see if she can squeeze some time with us. She nicely reminded me that she had asked a while ago when hi Sheena. Tashad, if you got the link, can you put it in the comments? And it's a Boston Wild Black sponsored event, but it's open to the public via tickets. Coco Kiss for You is on Instagram. Gordon15 RL Ziskills. And just joined over on Instagram, but we're going to get ready to wrap up. And so far, only one D7 candidate came by my house or home. I hope that was Dina and Tashad. If y'all haven't connect off, Dina, this is why I don't be in the comments sometimes. All right. So Boston Wild Black is definitely it. There is the link for Tashad. I don't know if you're watching on James or Java, but there's the link for the Boston Wild Black Summit. Again, we're there all day Friday, all day Saturday. The new editor of Essence. I don't know her name, but I've seen some clips of her. First of all, her fashion is just, yeah, no words. But her philosophy to operating in her purpose in life and how she does it, oh my. So it's going to be a great weekend. I don't know. I know they're streaming and I don't know if I don't know. Go to the website where Tashad put the link and you can find out all the information. Miss Teresa, listen, Dr. Lee is more than a medical doctor. He is a trusted friend to all and has been a great friend to me and my family, both personally and professionally. I adore you, Dr. Rick Lee. And that's why we named an award for him. And that's why Leah Gordon got that award named after Dr. Rick Lee, the Dr. Rick Lee Community Health Award, given out at the health fair every year. Auntie Java, mental health issues are still hidden under the rug. So sad. It should be normalized just as breathing is. More people would get the help they need. Absolutely, Auntie Java, and there's going to be more need for it. So again, to Uncle Thaddeus's point, it's not just the pain, but it is also our power. But we have to be intentional about harnessing it, bringing it together, doing what we can for each other. So I'll close out with the clip from yesterday. And by tomorrow, one of the good things that's coming out of this 11:30 is we will be able to tell you the date for the official Red Cup Awards and anniversary celebration. So, all right. Let me get the video. I think it's going to work. Queued up. It is actually ready. Now hold on for 1 second.
A little bit on what Councilor Jackson said. I believe my 3 minutes are up. The city has a responsibility. Police part of the city has a responsibility. Philanthropy has a responsibility. But we as individuals have a responsibility to speak to our neighbor, to look out for someone, to proactively walk through that group of brothers that's standing on the corner and say, "What's up, gentlemen? How you doing?" To take that young mother that is struggling with that young man and just check in on her and say, "Hey, is there something I can do?" The village is the central part of what we're doing. As I said before, those that have been closest to the pain need to be closest to the power, and we're here. We are here. We've been here, and we will continue to be here. So, Mayor, thank you. Isaac, thank you. And we're going to, Dr. Yarblow, got to respect that on you. We're going to hold you accountable, but we're going to hold you accountable. Thank you.
Was the clip from yesterday, and shout out to, I think that was Brother Obi, that got that one. To Dina's point about the community involvement and accountability, those being closest to those who have been closest to the pain need to stay proactively, intentionally closest to the power. Absolutely. All right, it's 11:05. UC members, you get 90 minutes today. We will see you wait a minute. I can't do Dr. Yarblow's show Friday at 9:00 because we're at the summit. I just got note today. They want me there at 6:30. They want me there at 6:30. That means, anyway, I will let you all know when we get Dr. Yarblow scheduled. I'll let you all know. All right, that's it for me today. We will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. And then we will not have a show Monday, June 2nd. I am with Toy Burton. Please keep Toy in your prayers as well. Toy posted the other day. She was at MGH and in the hospital. Dr. Lee, thank you. I text Dr. Lee and Dr. Betancourt like, hey, just to let Sister Toy is over there. And they're real about what they can and can't do, and HIPAA laws and all that. But Toy is doing better. And so we'll be with her at the Men's Mental Health Summit taking place on June 2nd. And so next Monday, this Monday, we will not have a show this Monday. We will be back with you on Tuesday, June 3rd. And I found out yesterday, the mayor's show on June 4th, the first Wednesday. I just learned yesterday. I don't know what time. They said the date still works, but they got to switch the time. So just some early updates about next week. Thank all of you who are here today. Thank all of you who ask questions. Thank all of you that generate conversations. A lot of people might see some things and be like, well, why they? This is a space where we do that. These are people I have relationships with that we talk offline and just build and debate and all of that. And so for those of you that may be new in the space or whatnot, this is what we do here. All right. That's it. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And then after that, not till Tuesday. I just, y'all know I get kind of funny feeling when our consistency drops, but it's for a good reason. So thank you, Miss Teresa. That's this Monday. I got it right? Monday. Yeah. Monday, June 2nd. Thank you. All right. Dina, thank you. Dina with an E. Have a great day, everyone. Sending love to Mother, to Mama, and Miss Teresa. And we'll see you guys. Who said this? Where did I see it? Auntie Java, who knows? MGH Best Cancer Center Treatment Teams. I can barely talk, y'all. I need to go eat and get ready for this 11:30. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Have a great day, everyone. And yes, we'll talk to you soon.